This video is brought to you by Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist, my new book, which is a comprehensive guide to all aspects of music theory necessary for playing rock guitar. From blues to the cycle of fifths, from understanding and using modes to choosing the right notes for a melodic solo, from pentatonic scales to chord construction and keys. It's all covered in a clear and concise manner. With accompanying video demonstrations, jam tracks and tabs, you'll learn to use the knowledge you gain in accessible ways that make sense for less than the cost of a few guitar lessons. Check out the link in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. A little bit of a different one today, dictated by circumstances. At the time of filming this video, where are we? Today is the 11th of December, and exactly a week ago today, I had an operation on my hand. So obviously can't play much at the moment. But nevertheless, we'll press on. It's still a solo analysis that we're going to be doing today, but it's an analysis of a solo that I performed before this happened, and didn't do like a breakdown of it because it formed part of the demonstration and review of this guitar here, this Charvel Guthrie Govan signature model that I believe the video for that went out recently. A little bit kind of losing track of when videos are going out, but basically if that video hasn't gone out already, then it shortly will. I think it has. Anyway, I decided in that video to do something that was a little bit different from the usual sort of blues rock kind of stuff that I normally put together for guitar demos, because it's a Guthrie Govan signature guitar, so you've got to make something of an effort, haven't you? And I played a solo that was a bit different from what I usually do. So that's the one we're going to look at today, and it sounds like this. So there it is, and if you missed that video where I did like the full shakedown of that guitar, then don't worry, I shall put a link to it in the description below. So what was I doing in that solo then? Well, here's an explanation.
Solo explanation.
Right, so we'll begin by taking a look at what the solo is played over. It's a kind of a riffy chord sequence, which is in the Lydian mode, and I'll explain all about that right after we've heard what the actual riff sounds like, so we can know what we're talking about, basically. Here it is. Yes, so that is a riff in the A Lydian mode. So what is the Lydian mode? Well, quite simply, there are three major chords in any key: the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. And if you think in terms of the key of E major, then E is the 1 chord, A is the 4 chord, and B major is the 5 chord. And all you got to do to get the Lydian mode is, basically take those chords and focus them on the A chord. So the A chord sounds like the tonality. The way I did this in this little riffy thing here is I just kept the bass note plodding away on an A note pretty much throughout it, and over the top of that I was playing an A chord, a B chord, an E chord, and various other chords. Let's take a look at what those chords look like. So as I say, I started on an A major chord like that. Notice I've got the open A string kind of ringing away underneath that, and you can probably tell from those finger positions there that that's just like kind of the middle part of a regular bar chord shape, basically. Then from that shape I go to this shape here, which is a B major chord, but notice the open A string is still thumping away underneath, and I'm reinforcing that with the bass part as well. Then I do what I always think of as the All Right Now chord shape where I'm putting like my second and third fingers on in front of that shape there to give us this kind of shape here, and that gives us an E chord over the A bass. So just to go through those again, I've got an A chord, then I go over an A bass, I've got a B chord over an A bass, then I've got an E chord over an A bass. And what did I play next? Yeah, just down to an ordinary open A chord down there, as like that. There were one or two kind of jangly, kind of slightly dissonant sounding chords in there just to kind of spice things up a little bit, and this is one of them here. I'm playing the open A string, as you can see, and then the note at the 6th fret on the 4th string, and on the 3rd string the note at the 4th fret on the B string, and then the open E string. And there's lots of kind of dissonances kind of clashing there. The D sharp that's happening on the 2nd string clashing with the open E string, and that D sharp is also kind of rattling a little bit against the open A string as well. Essentially, this is just a little kind of shape that my fingers fell into, and all of the notes are from the key of E major. That's the parent key that we're in here, E major, but we're kind of keeping everything focused on the A chord by keeping that open A string kind of going underneath. Then there was another one of those chords there like this. This is sort of a B add 9 kind of chord here. I have made an error in this little diagram here. This doesn't have the open A string in there. I do apologise, so ignore that open A string there. It's what you get when you're kind of using Microsoft Paint with one hand. Bound to happen. Then where else did we go? Yeah, that's sort of a B add 9 chord, and again you're getting a little bit of and I don't think the open E string was in on that either. But again, all of the notes in that chord that I played were from the just notes from the E major scale, and just letting open strings where appropriate just kind of clatter along with some fretted notes, and it just creates a nice sort of dissonance, really. Then there's an E chord up at the 9th fret there as well. I use that. Just again over the open A string, and you can see a couple of more accidental open strings in there. I might not be able to play accidental open strings at the moment, but I can still write them out. And then I turned that into an E sus4 by putting that finger in front of it there like that, just kind of doing a little sus4 kind of thing. So those are the chords that I was playing over that you're hearing in that riff. And as I say, all of those chords are essentially chords that can be found in the key of in the key of E major. It started off just basically kind of thumping away on an A bass note and playing an A chord, a B chord, and an E chord over the top of that. That will get you there to that kind of Lydian sound, and then I just kind of kind of dressed it up a little bit. So what do you do to play over this then? Well, the way that I look at it personally is from a pentatonic standpoint. I always tend to think in terms of what is the pentatonic box that will kind of fit the overall sort of feel of this. And the overall feel of this piece of music is A major. So, use the A major pentatonic. But what I'm also doing, and we're going to have a look at some patterns for that in a moment, what I'm also doing is, if we take a look at the notes in an A major pentatonic, they are A, B, C sharp, E, F sharp. A, B, C sharp, E, and F sharp, yes. But if we take a look actually at the E major scale, which is the overall scale, as I say, we're in the key of E major here, we're just kind of biasing it towards the A note or the A chord. If we take a look at the E major scale, you can see that all of the notes of the A major pentatonic are actually kind of present in that E major scale. So I'm thinking very much in terms of the pentatonic box shapes, and then I'm just adding in, whenever I feel like it, basically the additional G sharp and D sharp notes to make it up to the full-on a Lydian mode sound. You can also think of this as just, kind of play an E major scale, but bias it more towards the A note. But, I learnt my guitar licks in the sort of pentatonic language, so I tend to relate everything to that. Let's take a brief look now at the shapes that I'm using here. This is a little PDF that's going to be available for all my wonderful Patreon supporters. So you can see there in blue, if we just scroll down, there's the core A major pentatonic is shown in blue, and the root note has got a little kind of fiery halo around it in red and orange. So you can see the A major pentatonic there in the circles, essentially, with blue. And then as I said, adding in the additional G sharp and D sharp notes that make it up to the Lydian mode fingerings. This is the way I like to think in terms of modes. I just like to get my basic pentatonic shapes mapped out, and then what extra notes do I need to add in? Where will you find out what those extra notes are? We'll take a look at the chords. Going back to that example earlier, where I was saying, play an A chord, a B chord, and an E chord over an A bass note, then all of the notes in the A chord, the A, the C sharp, and the E are in the A major pentatonic: A, B, C sharp, E, and F sharp. But the B chord, a B major chord, is B, D sharp, and F sharp. So the B and the F sharp are in the A major pentatonic, but it's that B chord is also giving you a D sharp note that you can throw in and just kind of massage it into your familiar pentatonic box shapes. The E chord is E, G sharp, and B. So the E and the B notes are in the A major pentatonic, but there's a G sharp note there that's in the E major chord, which isn't in the A major pentatonic. So you can kind of just locate that on the, within the context of your pentatonic box shapes. As I often say, and will continue to say, if you have some sense of, I need to play such and such a note, I need to play this note, I need to play that note, and then you go looking for it, and you find it, and you play it, and it makes you sound good, what you've done there is you've made a little bit of effort and been rewarded for it, and that is the essence of what makes you remember stuff. It's how you learn things. So that was what's going on in this solo. It's basically a Lydian mode, and but I still tend to think of it as being pentatonic plus additional notes. Hopefully what I've been talking about here has demystified some of what the modal stuff is all about, and made it seem a little bit more accessible. I know there will be people in the comments who will say that I'm talking Swahili and Greek all in one or whatever, but this is how it makes sense to me, and I hopefully have made it make sense to at least a few people by explaining it in the terms that I understand it. So there you go. Now you know what to do. Go away and have some fun with it. Hopefully that wasn't too scary and made some sort of sense. It was basically the Lydian mode as I was banging on about there for the last 10 minutes, and hopefully now you have a little bit of an insight into what the Lydian mode is all about. As usual, up on my Patreon page there is already a full tab for that solo in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, the whole tune basically. And a jam track to play along with. What I've done as well for today is I made an extra jam track of just that riff kind of looping round and repeating, so you can practice your Lydian mode fingerings and licks without having to worry about when the actual full jam track that goes with the other video, because that changes key in a few places, and I thought I'd just give you that extended Lydian mode jam track to check out those new shapes with, if they are new to you. Maybe you know them already. Anyway, so yeah, all that stuff's up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description. $3 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies that go along with these YouTube videos, and a massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that, or any of the other ways, all of which are linked down below in the description as well. I'll also, as I say, put a link to that the full piece of music that solo came from, the video contains and everything. You know what I'm saying. All of that will be down there in the description. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've got for you today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video, found it useful and informative in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. Why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday 5 p.m. UK time. We drink beer and talk about music and guitars and all manner of things. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. And hopefully by the time you're watching this video, this will be off. We live in hope, don't we? Bye for now, folks. See you next time.